Good morning, friends. Today's topic will be email basic. Welcome back to my channel. We will be talking today about emails and what are the different things that are present in an email. The first thing, what is an email? See, email is an electronic mail. It is used for sending or receiving mails over the internet. For email, these are the things that you need. First, you need a computer which should have an internet connection. Then you should also have an email account under an email service provider. Under an email service provider, this can be like Gmail, MSN, Hotmail, or even Yahoo Mail. So you should have a mail under these domain name. So what are the advantages of an email? Why we need email? The first advantage of an email is emails are comparatively faster than the normal mails. Like traditional mails, I mean to say the postal mail or the speed post or etc. All these kind of mails are known as traditional mail. So email are comparatively faster because see, if I want to send a message from my house to someone which is 20 or 30 or 40 or 500 miles away from my house, it will take around 2 days to reach, or maybe 6 hours to reach. But an email, through an email it takes only fraction of a second to reach that person. Email, we can send email 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. But a traditional mail, like maybe Sunday it is closed, or maybe in the evening the post office is closed, so you have to wait for some time to send the mail. Then the third one is you need to have, in order to send or receive an email, you need to have internet connection. Then it is quite cheap compared to any other traditional mail. It is very cheap, and both the person, or you can send one mail to several persons, or one mail to a single person. Same mail can be sent to several person, or same mail can be sent to a single person, and it takes more or less the same time. Next is the disadvantages of email. See, the first disadvantage of an email is in order to receive an email, the receiver also should have an email ID. If he does not have an email ID, he will not get an email. Second biggest problem is virus. Through emails and through the attachments in an email, I will explain to you what is attachment in the later part of this chapter. Through emails or through the attachments of an email, virus can enter your computer. And there is another thing, nowadays it is very popular, like it is known as phishing, where fake emails are sent to your account, and it pretends as if it is sent from a legitimate website to take away data from you. Like it can ask you for your bank details or something else. So it is basically used for identity theft, or sometimes it scams people also. So these are the disadvantages of an email. Last disadvantage is spam are unwanted, unsolicited mails that are regularly sent to your email ID, which can be a source of virus also. See, this, if you see properly, this is email where this is broken down into three parts. The first part is the username. Here Genia is the username, or you can use your name or my name or anybody's name is the username. And then we have an @ sign, and after that we have something called as XYZ. Here I have written XYZ. You can write gmail.com or any other email service provider's name there. So that is the domain name of the service provider, or the email service provider's name, followed by .com or .org. This is the extension, domain extension. Then for an email, when you create an email, and they will ask you to give a password. Now remember one thing why I'm discussing this here, because you have to remember the password. Without the password you cannot open your email ID. The password should not be any sensitive data like your name, your birthday, or maybe some important bank details or PIN numbers or PAN card numbers. This should not be your password. Usually it should be a combination of alphabets, numbers, and special characters. You can also use some capital letter as well as small letter in your password. Another thing, there is a verification question when you fill up your email ID form. To create an email ID, you fill up certain forms. There they will ask you one question that is known as a verification question. You have to remember that question and the answer that you give in that question. You have to remember that very nicely, so that if you forget the password, you can retrieve your password using that question, using that answer. Then parts of an email. So these are the different parts of an email. See, for an email, when you want to send an email, the first one is, you will see something called as to is the address where you put your email. Then the address to whom you want to send the email. In the to box you put the name of the person or the email ID of the person whom you want to send your email. Then there is something called as CC. It is known as carbon copy. I will explain to you later on. Then we have something called as BCC, blind carbon copy. Then we have something called as subject. This is the topic of your email. This should be precise or small, where you should write it in around 5-6 words about the topic of your email. Then we have the body of the email, where you write the email. And last of all, if you have some attachment, some extra files you want to attach, you can put it in the attachment also. We will be discussing all these things. See, sending an email. When we send an email, sometimes we attach a file and then we click on the send button. When we click on the send button, the message, if it is delivered, it goes and gets saved in our send box. Okay, but no, you have to know few things. Once a mail is sent, we cannot stop that mail. We cannot take back that mail. We cannot delete that mail from that particular person. Once it is sent, means he will receive it only. Proofreading and all, we should do it before sending the mail. Once it is sent, or spelling check and all, we cannot do it after sending the mail. All the mail once sent will be saved in the send box. Then there is something called as a draft email. See, draft email is nothing but when we type some email. Suppose I write an email. Okay, I'm writing an email and suddenly the electricity goes, or maybe the internet connection is stopped abruptly. So that email will not be deleted. It will be saved in a draft folder. Or draft folder basically is used to save your emails in a folder that is known as the draft folder, and temporarily again you can edit it and you can send it back later on. Then there is something known as Outbox. Suppose I am typing an email and when I click on the send button, suddenly due to some reason the internet connectivity goes. That email will not, the half of the email will not be sent to that person. It will be saved in the Outbox folder. Once the internet comes, my connection is available in my computer, then again it will send from the Outbox to the particular person who will receive that mail. So Outbox is a place where a mail temporarily is stored if due to some reason the internet connectivity is lost. It is stored there. Once the internet connectivity is gained back, or the internet connectivity is available, the same message will be sent back to that particular person. So that is the use of Outbox. It is very important. Inbox is nothing but similar to the mobile inbox where we get all our messages. If we want to receive some messages, those received messages will be saved in the inbox. Now see, when I want to reply to a mail, suppose someone has sent me one mail and I want to reply it, the two option comes, reply and reply all. See, when I click on the reply button, when we click on the reply button, the message is automatically sent to the person from whom the email came. And if I click on reply all, the my reply will be sent to the person whom I have sent the email, as well as to those persons who were in my CC or my BCC. Suppose someone has tagged 3 or 4 persons in the CC and the BCC. So when I click on reply all, my reply will go to all of them, to the person who has sent me the mail and also to all the persons who have been tagged in that particular mail. Now forwarding an email. Forwarding an email is very simple. When suppose I have an email and I want to send it to someone without editing or something like this, I use the I use the forward button. So there is an option. If you click on the forward option, the same mail that I have received, I can share it with some other person also. CC and BCC. CC stands for carbon copy and BCC stands for blind carbon copy. In CC, what happens is, if I want to send a copy of a mail to other person publicly, we use CC. Means the other person will also know, whoever have received the mail. In BCC, what happens is, when we want to send a copy of a mail to a person and privately, any recipient of the BCC line of the email are not visible to the other email. So other people will not know whoever have received the mail. So that is the difference between CC and BCC. In CC, the persons whoever have received the copy of the mail will know who are the other people who have received those mails. But in BCC, what happens is, if I send a copy to a person whom I have sent, if I send a copy to a person, the other persons will not know who are the other persons who have received the same mail. Now, what is an attachment? An email attachment is a computer file sent along with an email message. So along with an email message, if I want to send some files, we use the email attachment. It can be a photo, it can be a document, it can be a PDF, or many other kind of things we can send along with your email ID. So that email, along with your email, when we want to send some extra files, we call it attachments. Now see, once we delete an email, the mail basically is sent to a recycle bin or a trash bin. Okay, temporarily it is stored there, because by chance, suppose I have unintentionally deleted the mail, I can retrieve it back from the trash bin. Okay, but after maybe after a particular time format, those mails in the trash bin are also deleted. The most important thing that I want to say is, whenever we finish our emailing and something, we should always sign out of the email service, because if I don't sign out of my email, someone else might send email from my account. So whenever you are sitting in a laptop, or whenever you are sitting in a cyber cafe or somewhere where you have to type an email, you send an email. After you send an email, you always sign out or log out of your email account, or else someone else might sit on that same computer or PC and use your email ID. That might be very harmful. Thank you very much.